your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. On Thursday, Assistant Porham, Oklahoma Police Chief David Ray Cash was arrested and charged for crimes associated with the sexual assault of two small children, a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old. In this case, one of the victims actually called 911 to report the abuse in progress. The Free Thought Project, citing the Muskogee County Sheriff's Office, says that deputies responded to a 911 call on December 19th. The caller, reportedly one of the victims, told dispatch that the 49-year-old Cash was sexually assaulting them, according to an affidavit filed with the case. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation conducted a sexual assault nurse examination, which found injuries to one of the children were consistent with child sexual abuse. While he was detained during interviews, the assistant chief confessed to sexually assaulting the two children on multiple occasions between September and December. According to a 36-count grand jury indictment, a Seattle company used a hidden drain to dump a highly corrosive chemical solution directly into the sewer system. The Mind Unleashed reports inside the sewer, a robot's camera recorded a white stain of unknown origin. And according to a federal indictment handed down earlier this month, federal agents executed a search warrant after real-time monitoring equipment they installed indicated an unusual spike in the water's pH. During the search, a portable pump covered in a high pH liquid and a hidden drain that had never been disclosed were both discovered. It turns out that both the company's owner and manager of the plant, who happen to be cousins, have been lying to regulators since at least 2009, according to the indictment. The scheme was discovered in 2018. The Seattle Barrel and Cooperage Company collects used 55-gallon industrial drums and resells them after undergoing a reconditioning process. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
The total loser's corpse contained no traces of drugs or alcohol, and a superstitious Delta Airlines adds busty mermaids to its plane noses. My friend, you look like you are in need of the world's finest internet news summaries. Please come in and warm yourself by the fire of knowledge. This is the Onion Week in Review. A new law passed in Colorado this week will allow residents with a doctor's prescription to purchase medicinal fireworks, saying that those in need of stargazers, firecrackers, and Galleria highlights now need only obtain a doctor's prescription. State officials expressed hope that the law would ease the suffering of those in need of huge, dazzling explosions. And in this week's op-ed pages, a man notes that, like it or not, we all die, then get dug up and molested. In other news, white male privilege is squandered on a job at Best Buy, and a local TCBY has missed the past 2 logo changes. Well, that's it for now. Goodbyes are bittersweet, my love, so I'll only tell you, for more, keep checking theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That number's 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's Aria.
Jay.
And Mark.
And I've got good news for the 11,000 people who have been convicted of marijuana-related offenses in the state of Illinois now that it has legalized marijuana, becoming the 11th state to legalize recreational cannabis.
Recreational, okay.
And evidently the governor, in a shocking move, has granted more than 11,000 pardons for low-level marijuana convictions today, describing the step as a first wave.
I was
of
always
thousands.
curious whether they could. 11,000 doesn't sound like the governor went through and signed 11,000 pieces of paper.
Good Lord, I hope not.
It sounds like it was a mass pardoning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably just one sheet of paper.
Kind of like what nobody wants to do when he becomes governor of New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Just mass pardoning of people.
The expungement process is a key part of the law. It takes effect Wednesday, and it made Illinois the 11th state to legalize marijuana for people 21 or older. I don't know why it's not 18 or older. Well, I guess I do, because didn't the federal government just raise the tobacco age to 21?
I believe so. I certainly read an article like that. I wasn't entirely clear what the implications of that are. I think they can possess it but not buy it. Again, I don't know what all the implications are. I can see why somebody would say, all right, marijuana is a mind-altering substance. Alcohol is a mind-altering substance. Apparently, the age for mind-altering substances is 21. So, clack, 21.
Yeah, but caffeine is a mind-altering
Certainly
substance.
is for me.
Yeah, so anyway, when they crafted the policy, lawmakers
Caffeine's
said
never been illegal, though. Alcohol and marijuana have.
Yeah. Lawmakers said that they wanted to repair some of the damage caused by law enforcement's efforts to combat sale and use of the drug, particularly in minority communities, which has always been a glaring issue with recreational cannabis being legalized in states, is that they still have people filling their prison cells for marijuana convictions.
Yeah, I was curious about that. I was going to ask, how many states that you know of have pardoned the people who were in for solely marijuana charges?
California did it as well, right?
California, I don't know that California even has recreational marijuana legalized. This isn't my issue.
Sure.
but
It's not mine either. I don't even smoke.
Their medical marijuana law was so broad that basically all you had to do was have some planning skills and you had legal marijuana.
Okay. Well, apparently the pardons, while a good thing, they only affected people with misdemeanors. So it was relatively small amounts of pot. And, it's stupid to arrest people for having like 2 or 3 joints on them or whatever. But it wasn't going to apply to people who had like a pound of weed in their truck when they got pulled over. So,
which is stupid. I don't care if the guy had 100 pounds of weed on him. I mean, they should. It's a victimless crime. And then I know in Massachusetts years ago, it was like decriminalized to a misdemeanor, like to a certain level, but it was a felony again if it was like a 3rd offense or a 4th offense. I don't exactly remember, but
right. I mean, honestly, if marijuana should be legal recreationally, should it be a problem if I have a hay truck full of bales of marijuana going down the road? I mean
obviously not.
There's bootleg beer in America. Do we want to lock up bootleg beer distributors?
Is there bootleg beer?
Yeah, you can make beer that's without licensing, especially in certain states.
Oh, there's a lot of bootleg alcohol around.
But you can certainly bootleg liquor. There was an interesting story here out of the Free State Project many years ago. A one-time host of the show was distilling liquor in his home, and he saw the cops come and then went like to the bathroom or something. So I saw the cops like pull up outside, went to the bathroom or something, then comes out and his still's gone.
Was he distilling it for private use?
To the best of our knowledge, but we don't know anything. Like, all we know is the still was gone. I mean, presumably somebody
out of his home.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
I believe it was on his porch, but it's like a screened-in porch situation. So they had to come through a door. Whoever did it certainly committed a burglary.
Certainly.
But we don't really know.
Interesting. Well, state officials. To come back to your question, I don't think it should be a problem. I mean, we have trucks that are driving up massive amounts of alcohol every single day, and no one's bothering them about it. I mean, you could load up the back of your car with as much wine and liquor as you could fit in there, and you wouldn't get in trouble for possessing too much alcohol.
Right.
There's minivans cruising around with massive amounts of opiates in them, distributing them to hospitals and pharmacies and whatnot.
Yeah. So state officials estimate that 116,000 convictions involving 30 grams of marijuana or less. Now, I haven't smoked weed in a really long time. Back when I smoked, it was measured in ounces and quarter ounces. I don't have much perspective on what 30 grams of
28
marijuana
grams
is.
in an ounce.
Okay. That's not a lot of pot, including for possession of the drug, are eligible for pardons under the new law. So if you had an ounce, essentially, or just slightly below an ounce, you are eligible for a pardon. But any more than that, it's not really doing a lot of people good. I mean, I don't want to criticize it because it's great. 11,000 people are being pardoned, but it didn't stretch nearly far enough.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm happy to see the 11,000 people misdemeanor violation level people for marijuana getting pardoned. And as I understand it, that can be useful for getting college loans and those sorts of things.
See, I was going to say reelected, but I'm a bit jaded.
Well, I don't know. But I would agree with you that if marijuana is safe to make is safe to make legal for recreational use, then you should pardon the guy who got caught with a bale of it in the trunk of his car and had no weapons, no stolen merchandise, did not punch the cop in the face, none of these things, right? Like, I'm only talking about a crime of a large level drug possession.
I don't care if he had a whole bunch of assault rifles. I mean,
I agree. I'm with you.
The right to I don't care if he shot the cops dead when the cops came after him. He was defending himself.
Well,
I mean,
I'll say this, though. There is no confusion surrounding somebody who simply had a lot of pot.
I think 11,000 people being pardoned for, having the wrong species of salad in their pocket essentially is a very low number in Illinois.
But let's think about it, because it's Puritanism ultimately that caused marijuana to become illegal in the first place, right? And the same people outlaw shrooms. It's like they're giving God the finger and saying, you messed up, and now we, fallible human beings, are going to fix the mistake you made when you created this plant.
Puritanism was the excuse that was pushed by Dow Corporation, DuPont Corporation, U.S. Standard Oil, which eventually got broke up into 7 mega oil corporations: Exxon, Shell, Chevron, Amoco, Mobil. There's a few others. They are the ones that really wanted to get rid of hemp. They wanted to get rid of hemp because a machine was created that made the hemp processing really simple, really efficient, and made hemp very, very viable. Also, and for using paper, for using fabric, for using rope. DuPont Corporation was working on it was before nylon. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like an acrylic type, stuff for, some kind of fabric that was like synthetic. And hemp, this easy processing of hemp was definitely a huge competition. Basically, was going to put Dow and DuPont at a corporation. The Dow Corporation owned millions of acres of timber rights in the Northwest United States. It was going to, that hemp can regrow so fast when you do hemp. And then also Henry Ford did a deal with a man named Rudolph Diesel to put diesel engines in all the Ford cars and to run exclusively on hemp oil. The idea was we could, have hemp oil. And then Ford really hated Rockefeller because Rockefeller also lobbied to make alcohol illegal because alcohol was the motor fuel of the day in rural America before alcohol was prohibited. And all these stills all over rural America were seized by essentially what is the IRS now, the revenue men. So people couldn't be independent with their fuel.
Fascinating. More about marijuana from people who actually don't smoke marijuana. 855-450-3733. Let us know what you think about the legalization of cannabis.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Balance of nature, changing the world one life at a time.
Your product is absolutely amazing. I can't tell you how my life has been changed so completely. I'm just at a loss to describe. I don't know how I could ever tell Dr. Howard and Susan, his dear wife, how much I deeply appreciate all the work they put into this magnificent product. I mean, there's so many things that have improved. And I'm only just beginning.
Experience the balance of nature difference for yourself. Call or go online now and become a preferred customer, which gives you our best pricing and free shipping. And we will take an additional 35% off of your first order. This will be a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code FTL.
You love Bitcoin. It's the future, right? Well, no, not if everyone stops using it. I mean, think about it. How many places in your town take Bitcoin? One? None? Let's be real. If this Bitcoin thing is ever going to happen, it's going to need your help. The good news is the guys at AnyPay have your back. We built a website called helpmetakebitcoin.com, and it's a place you can send any business, and they'll be set up to take Bitcoin in 5 minutes. helpmetakebitcoin.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
There are basically two types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That number's 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
Jay.
And Mark.
And Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform that you can find at local.bitcoin.com that allows you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash using dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Again, that's local.bitcoin.com. Getting right into it, let's go to the phones. We've got John calling from Oregon. John, you are on Free Talk Live.
Nigger, 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 nigger.
Drop him first and hit the dump. Yep.
Yeah, I do.
Excellent.
I got this. What a waste of time. So for those who are unaware, again, we have a dump button that allows us to dump the last several seconds-ish of audio.
Right.
So,
but all these folks do is give us practice.
Yeah. I guess so.
So thanks. Appreciate it.
And there's a second layer also, because the if the board op's paying attention at GCN,
Yeah.
he's able to dump it too in case we miss it, right?
He usually beats me to it, but that time I was actually faster. So yay me.
And yeah, I mean, our hosts do need practice at this. I've got to say that one time a year that somebody slips up and drops the F-bomb, I'm not always ready. But what was it, John?
Yeah.
John, a salute out to you for the training that you're giving Free Talk Live. Thank you.
All right, keeping going. Let's go right to the phones again. We got Bad Slave calling. Bad Slave, you're on Free Talk Live.
Well, thank you, Aria and Jay and Mark.
Hey.
I appreciate the call. I'm just angry that there is this period of time since, the benefits of hemp, cannabis, everything else, around those types of plants that has been suppressed by mostly the actions and threats of government.
Well, if cannabis was bad for it, it would be mandated. But if it was bad for us, it would be mandated by the government, not
It'd be on the
outlawed.
food pyramid.
Yeah.
Well, in a lot of ways that's absolutely true. Even with cocaine and they're shipping it up here, clandestine, smuggling it up here to feed the need. But I don't care about, there are benefits to opioids and whatever else, probably even some use of cocaine for different medicinal purposes. But the benefits, I mean, here we are all up in arms about the climate change, and everybody's trying to say, oh, it's all that CO2. Well, if you grow hemp and you make diesel fuel out of it, it's a renewable arrangement, and they were about to set it up.
I'd like to point out that nitrous oxide is produced by corn plants, and corn plants are in ethanol, and so these. This is for all those out there that believe that the government is somehow a good organization to fix the global warming crisis. Yes, I get it. People don't agree with you, and maybe you think they're dum-dums. But remember what you think if you believe in global warming. Probably. Not everybody, but a lot of people.
Global warming would be a benefit, not a crisis.
I mean,
hold on. Let me finish the statement. If you believe in global warming, you likely believe the government is going to solve that problem. If you think that, consider that the government tried to solve that problem with ethanol, and it started growing more corn, which produces nitrous oxide, which is a far greater greenhouse gas than CO2 is. Look it up. Don't just go and forget about it. Look it up, because this is the organization you want to solve this problem. It can't. And it never does.
Hold on, Bad Slave. Jay, you had a point you wanted to make.
Well, global warming, I got a few points about what Bad Slaves had to say, because I have experience directly with ethanol production when I was in Colorado. But global warming is not a crisis. What it will be a crisis is global cooling. And we can't control. I mean, they're trying like crazy with HARP and all kinds of other crap, and there's geoengineering, which there's permits for that have been taken out by corporations. And there's evidence of
Is it HARP shut down?
Who knows? If it's there and they can do it, they're doing it. They're playing with it. And that's my assumption. I mean, we are dealing with a lot. The most evil people that exist strive to get in high-ranking government positions.
That's right.
So, the Earth has, there is a time for hundreds of thousands of years that New York City was under 80 meters of ice. There is times where the Earth was so warm because of the proximity of this massive ball of fire that we call the sun, that Florida was under, a mile of water. for example, or 80 meters of water. I can't remember. Maybe it was a mile of ice in New York. But I've been listening to a lot of these, climate scientists, and a lot of them are coming out. I mean, there's a lot of I listen to a lot of audiobooks while I work and while plowing snow. And and the thing is too with CO2, which they're causing the thing. Al Gore says is an Inconvenient Truth movie or whatever, that if you remove the water vapor, if you remove water vapor, CO2 levels have a significant amount or something to do with the heating and cooling. Well, the thing is the Earth's atmosphere is literally 86,000 parts water vapor and 1 part CO2. There's a clip somewhere.
See, my perspective is very different. I just don't care. Any species that would actually destroy its own environment to the extent that they cannot survive there doesn't deserve to continue surviving anyway. It's like a tapeworm that goes in and actually kills its host. The tapeworm isn't supposed to kill the host.
Well, the idea is to agree whether or not we, the cells of the tapeworm, are agreeing whether or not man is poisoning his own environment with what it seems to be the conversation about is CO2. I would argue that we probably could do far more by talking about greenhouse gases than just discussing CO2. But what you see here is 3 different people with 3 different opinions, and the idea that somehow all of this is going to come together. The best bet, I think, is technology. If CO2 is a problem, then enough people need to agree to build CO2 scrubbing machines or something. Breed a plant that uses more CO2, something.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. What are your thoughts on global warming? Is it a concern? Are we denialists? Let us know. 855-450-3733. Again, that's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live.
Have you heard of LibertyCon? LibertyCon is not only a convention with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO and co-founder John Mackey and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith, but it's also unique because you get a chance to network with more than 70 pro-liberty organizations, one-on-one for the purpose of career advancement, business, and internship opportunities. April 3rd through 5th in Washington, D.C. You can learn more by visiting libertycon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on your registration. That's libertycon.com.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
Bewildered paralegal Caitlin Levy says that after returning home from work today, it occurred to her that oddly at no point during her day was she harassed, leered at, or made to feel humiliated or physically threatened.
It's weird. Looking back on it, I suddenly realized that not one strange man made a creepy comment at me or an obscene gesture or a sleazy look for like the whole day. How can that be?
The 29-year-old told reporters that even at points in her day when she is traditionally almost certain to be made uncomfortable by at least one or two leering male strangers, not a single such instance occurred.
I actually got to walk from the train to my office and never once catch some weirdo smiling at me or looking me up and down or slowing down his car to yell some shit out the window at me. I felt weirdly safe or something.
This is the Onion News Network.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That number's 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's Aria.
Jay?
And Mark.
I want to tell you about the Edge wallet. It's available for both iOS and Android. It's the mobile wallet that I use on a day-to-day basis to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold cryptocurrencies. It's user-controlled, so you always own your own money. It supports Bitcoin Core, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum tokens, Monero, Ripple, Stellar, and so many more. Being built by a veteran team since 2014, you should definitely go check it out if you need a mobile wallet. You can find it at edge.app if you want to learn more about it, or just look it up on the Google Play or Apple stores. It's really awesome. So, creepy dudes. I find it interesting that I can't sell Bitcoin and end up interacting with someone on Telegram without them hitting on me.
Okay.
Now, at this point, all they've seen from me is my face pic, so it's not overly obvious that I'm trans or anything like that. But it's weird that I can't just engage in this business interaction with someone without them being creepy.
I'm okay. What does creepy mean?
That's a good question. I don't know that I can honestly answer it.
Everybody has a different definition.
For me, the definition of creepy is somebody who makes an unwanted sexual advance. Now, I don't use the term creepy in my life because I find it to be problematic, right? I just don't. I think it's overused, it's meaningless, and it's a word that carries far more punch than its cost. And by that, what I mean is it's easy to call somebody creepy, but it hurts them when you do.
It's not just unwanted sexual advances, though. It's without context sexual advances. Like someone hitting on me at a bar isn't creepy, but someone hitting because it's expected in that social
because it's a bar
event, you know.
All right.
But
for you, it's not creepy.
Right. Some people just want to go to a bar to play pool. Why can't I just go play pool? They are unrealistic, right?
I'm not going to say they're unrealistic, but you should expect if you go out to a place where people are regularly hooking up and hitting on each other that you could get hit on at some point.
What if you don't
Selling
like
Bitcoin
bars?
Online
what if you don't
drastically different from that.
I'm fine with that.
So
what
the
if you,
context is very important in what makes someone a creep and what doesn't.
The context is, as they perceive it, you are female and they are male. There's your context.
That's not, and that's why they're creeps.
Okay. So a lot of people that have trouble dating say, I don't like going to bars, I don't drink, or I don't, like they don't want to go to bars and meet people. If you want to find somebody to hook up with, it can get difficult if you don't fish where the fish are, right? So,
sure. So they go fishing out of the aquarium? I mean, what
they believe,
they break into a neighbor's home
is that they're going
at their friend's house.
Is they're going to find somebody who is interested in them, and they're interested in their daily life, right? They're going to go through their daily life. Part of their daily life is apparently buying Bitcoin Cash and communicating on Telegram. So they've met you and they're ready to talk. I have to say that until you've said, I'm not interested, that no creepiness has occurred, to my mind.
Well,
creepiness as in like scariness, or creepiness as in creepiness?
So that's what this article gets into.
Okay.
Is defining the term.
I have a lot of experience. Maybe we should read the article first a bit before we get into this, but growing up on the horse farm that my dad owned, there was many young girls started getting involved with the horses between 8 and 12 years old, and they pretty much hung out there the whole time until they were, and a lot of them, my little brother has a barn, a lot of them now are going back to that. They're bringing their kids there to learn how to ride horses. So I was the big brother for minimum 75 girls throughout my life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how many. I can't really count it. But so a lot of these girls were like, oh, so-and-so creeped me out. You got this guy helping you with, something. They creeped me out, or some boy at school creeped me out. Or so the thing is basically a lot of the girls, it was just the fact that there's an intimidation factor by someone that they know that they cannot physically fight off, because they're like a 55-pound, 8-year-old girl, or a 100-pound 13-year-old girl, and someone who's either their same age, generally a boy, or an older man, generally is the creep. But also some of these girls, because the guy wasn't attractive, he's a creep, but the attractive guy could do the same exact stuff, and he wasn't a creep because he was, attractive.
Another wrinkle in
attractive or charismatic?
Well, what difference does it make?
It makes a huge difference. Attractive is way more superficial.
Attractive doesn't mean the way you look. Physically attractive does. So attractive is just a term about somebody that you...
That's why I asked the question about whether he meant physically attractive. I didn't say physically, but whether he meant charismatic or attractive.
I'll give you an example. So I got a friend from Massachusetts, and he doesn't see very well. He lost his license probably 4 or 5 years ago because he just can't see. And but he would go up to somebody and get right in their face. And he'd have to be about 2 foot from your face with his glasses on to really recognize who you are. And he would do this to random people around the farm. And these girls, and he's a sweet man, and he's a very nice guy, and they would be really freaked out by him because he would just get in your face to look at you because he didn't know who you are. He couldn't see. And even after you explain this to the girls, they would have to interact with him and see him for a while to realize that he's not a threat. But a lot of people, especially a lot of these kids are being programmed that everyone's a threat, and you have they're so hypersensitive to everything that they get creeped out so easy.
Well, someone getting within 2 feet of you and staring at your face is a bit of an invasion of a personal space bubble.
Sure.
So I can understand why someone would be intimidated by that happening.
I'd like to add a twist to this. I worked at a gym at one point, and turns out lots of hookups happened there too. And I'm not going to, I don't know if I should have known this clue or not, but an attractive young lady came up to me, and she was sort of huffy and upset that somebody had asked for her telephone number at the gym. And I just kind of said, well, did he do anything or say anything threatening? And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, there's not much I could do about that. And off she went. Actually, a week or maybe so later, this young lady asked me to out for dinner. she was she was setting a situation up where I would be jealous. I don't know what she was doing, right? But it had to do with getting asked.
She didn't know what she was doing either.
So what? It doesn't make a difference because her calling that guy creepy. She didn't. Not that I don't recall her having used the term, and presuming I don't even know who he was. I didn't even go back and look. I mean, all I could see was no violation has occurred here. You don't want that kind of attention. Don't wear those hot pants. I didn't know what to do and didn't do anything. So it could be potentially.
I have to hold on.
Saying that somebody's creepy could actually be a come on to the person that they're saying it to.
So back to your little offhanded statement there about how if she didn't want to be come on to, she shouldn't wear those hot pants or whatever.
Yes.
So women who wear short skirts and who get raped, they shouldn't have worn that?
That's where we always go, isn't it? Let me ask you another question. If I have a convertible and I put a giant bag of cash on the front seat, and then I get up and I go in, walk the main street and look in shops, and I come back, should I have a reasonable expectation that giant bag of cash be sitting on my car?
Do you want me to tell you why that analogy doesn't hold up?
I'd love to.
It's because women haven't left their bodies behind anywhere. They are still,
I only asked a question.
It's more like ripping the bag.
You're calling it an analogy. I'm asking a question.
It's more like ripping.
Because it's theft.
Well, you asked
to
the
take
question
that
because
bag.
you meant to imply it's an analogy, but it's more like ripping the bag out of your arms.
I hear what you're saying. Look, I don't think anybody should be raped. However, it's like closer advertisements.
Anytime, any place, anywhere. Radio remains the most intimate of all forms of media. At home, at work, in the car, on smartphones. Over 90% of consumers still listen to radio every week. That makes choosing radio as a place to advertise your business one of the best decisions you can make. Email advertise@gcnlive.com and partner up with an experienced GCN representative. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
When you have a pain in the neck, a real pain in the neck, back, shoulder, or legs, you now have 2 convenient choices to get fast relief without taking another pill. Because now, Sunny Bay heating wraps and pillows are available at both Amazon and Walmart. Yes, see Sunny Bay's 4.5 to 5-star customer reviews on Amazon.com or Walmart.com. Our made in the USA microwavable heat wraps, heatable neck pillows, and extra large body wraps are designed better for perfect support where and when you need it. Even while driving, Sunny Bay wraps will not burn and stay balanced to provide soothing hot or cold therapy to help treat temporary or chronic pain. And the best part? Sunny Bay quality products start at under $20. Join thousands of happy customers and see why Sunny Bay products have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. It's easy. Click Amazon or Walmart and search today for Sunny Bay.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Hey guys, Mark Claire here, lionsofliberty.com, where we strive to advance the ideas of liberty daily. We bring you the Morning Roar. That's right, every Monday to Friday we'll have a brand new edition of the Morning Roar, where we provide a roundup of some news stories that you may not find in the mainstream media or even in your typical social media newsfeed. We find stories that relate to the ideas of liberty and provide you with our liberty perspective on them. Every Monday, we have our longest-running feature, Mondays with Murray, named after the great libertarian Murray Rothbard, where we'll examine an article or an excerpt from his works and help convey his view, along with our little spin as well. We wrap it all up every Friday with Felony Friday, where our own John Odermatt goes out and takes a look at some sort of felony. There's felonies committed every day, you know, whether it's a felony committed by the police, a politician, or even an average citizen. You can find all of this and so much more over at lionsofliberty.com, advancing the ideas of liberty daily.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
Jay.
And Mark.
And during the break, I took the opportunity to look up the word creepy as it's actually defined in the dictionary, which is not much help.
Did you check the Urban Dictionary?
I did, and it went into a little bit more detail, but it's also the Urban Dictionary, so it got a bit off topic to what people would really consider to be creepy. The actual definition is a bit unhelpful, causing an unpleasant feeling of fear or unease. But there's no dispute here among us, I don't think, that a person who is being described a certain way is not necessarily at fault for how the other person is describing them.
Right.
Sure, they could attempt to scare the other person or whatever, to be creepy or intimidating or whatever, but how someone else perceives them is really up to that someone else.
Yeah.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, as they say.
When I worked at, when I was younger, I went, below the age of 18, I worked at a comic book store. And into the comic book store, probably the first time I noticed this guy, he comes in, he's wearing a denim cowboy hat with a bunch of hat pins in it. And he's got some kind of psoriasis on his hands, so he's crusty, and his face, like sort of by the beard line and that sort of thing. And he's got long fingernails, and you could tell he's got male pattern baldness. He's probably in his 50s, and he talks in a really high, kind of breathy voice. And this guy, and overweight, and a whole bunch of other things, right? As unattractive could be.
Yeah, that was the least flattering description of a person I've ever heard in my life,
I mean,
Mark.
Crusty is the terminology I would describe him. And
poor guy.
His name was John, I remember.
I mean, you're not wrong, Jay. Poor guy is right, but Mark's description of him is still
and I was
hilarious.
Probably 14 years old in meeting him. My empathy muscles were not very developed at that point. And there was another young person working at the comic book store, and I don't know if he knew that we were chortling at him, but we were chortling, okay? And just sort of made a big deal once he walks out of the comic book store. We're like, oh my God, like young people would.
Sure.
And
I mean, kids are cruel.
Right. And we were cruel. And later, the lady who owns the store explains, hey, look, there's nothing that John is doing that John can really control. Maybe the fingernails. But, John's got problems, and what you're doing is cruel. I mean, I don't know what exactly the words were. You just said cruel, and I would agree with the terminology. I was cruel as I could possibly be to this guy.
You were 14.
Right. And I forgive 14-year-old me, But I learned from the experience, and I went on, right? So John never, came on to me or anything like that, but John definitely would have qualified as creepy with his, Darth Vader rasp and everything else that was going on with him. He probably didn't live much longer because he clearly was not in good health, but he liked comic books, and he wanted some comic books, and he would come in on a monthly basis and get his comic books, and I don't know, sometimes he'd come in with a keeper. I have no explanation, but perhaps the default should be empathy for the person as opposed to just...
I would agree when there are like medical issues at hand and things like that.
Everybody's got medical issues though, right? I mean...
Yeah, but not ones that cause them to be creepy.
Well...
Like it leads off here with from Uncle Joe Biden's hair smelling antics to what's the guy's name? Trudeau?
Justin Trudeau.
Trudeau. Standing too close to a tennis star from the random dude who just slid into your direct messages to Zach Braff holding hands with a much younger actress, right? That's the examples they gave. And it sort of goes from most severe to least severe from what I can tell. Creepy Uncle Joe, there's no medical issue.
Nope.
There's no medical reason that he's going around sniffing on, 7-year-old girl's hair. He's just creepy.
And, you can be creepy and get away with it when you're an unaccountable government bureaucrat.
Democrats still want to elect him. He's running around sniffing 7-year-old girls' hair in public. I don't know if you've seen it, but go to joebiden.info if you have not.
So I know a bunch of Democrats, and they don't like Joe Biden. They don't even like
I know,
Elizabeth
but the numbers
Warren.
show that Democrats love him. I mean, he's the front runner.
The establishment is pushing him.
Agreed.
He's the darling of the establishment left. He's a clear,
I'm not saying
man.
polls are great indicators of how people really feel, but in general, I mean, they kind of are good indicators of how people feel.
I mean, if they're conducted accurately and not just made out of thin air, how do we even know the poll was even pulled? It could be just some nonsense.
Well, how do we know Joe Biden even exists?
Well, because we see him on TV sniffing, 12-year-old girls' hair.
But deepfakes are a thing. There may be no such person as Joe Biden. I mean, if we're going to go down this solipsism rabbit hole, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a big waste of time, but I don't trust the polls when they come from, especially the media that lies about everything else. I mean, I trust my own polls because, I ask people things, but then again, most of the people I talk to, hate Republicans and Democrats equally.
Yeah, good point.
I'm looking at these pictures of Justin Trudeau near this, next to this Bianca Andreescu. Full disclosure,
I think she's being creepy.
I wouldn't be able to pick Justin Trudeau out of a lineup, and I'd never heard Bianca's name before, but these pictures do look like a guy who's somewhat older hitting on a woman who's somewhat younger. I don't know whether Justin Trudeau's married. I don't know anything about Justin Trudeau, but
looks like she's enjoying it though in the pictures.
It does. She does not seem to be too upset about it. In one case, she's kind of turned. Whatever the situation is, I don't know, but I mean, creepy. I guess that's up to you.
Well, see, it's also not a fair assessment to say from the random dude who just slid into your DMs because that's not necessarily creepy. It can be creepy, but it's all about context.
Slid into your what?
DMs.
Direct messages.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch.
It's like just
sorry.
random guys messaging you out of the blue.
Random guys message me out of the blue all the time.
I don't think
they usually
message
want
you
me to invest in some stupid thing.
Yeah, see, they're not messaging you in the same way they message me then.
But does it make a difference though? I mean,
it kind of does.
You'll walk away from yours. I'm gonna, I'm gonna have, I'm gonna be that much poorer.
I get a random Russian or Ukrainian girl. Sending me a text message or
So
email.
hold on, Mark. I think we need some perspective. Have you ever gotten a call from someone in India via Facebook Messenger at 4 o'clock in the morning?
I have never gotten a call from India from some. No. The answer to that question is no.
I have.
Because have you?
Yeah. It wasn't from India. It was from Sierra Leone. Mustafa. He got called,
okay, that's different.
But he just wanted me to donate to something.
He's not a stranger, right?
He didn't mention stranger, but either way, it's still not true.
Because that's the kind. It doesn't happen regularly, but it does happen. And for the actually attractive girls out there, the cis girls and whatever, however you wish to describe them, they deal with this crap on at least a weekly basis.
Well, I got to say, my wife has never dealt with this stuff. She says that the problem with people disliking Facebook for all these reasons is they didn't curate their Facebook friend list very well. And
well, you don't have to be friends with them to call them, apparently.
Really?
That's been my experience.
Yeah, well, what can I tell you?
I never answer these calls, so I don't know. I usually just block them or just say nothing back when they randomly message me. And at some point, they just get bored and block me. But yeah, that's very different for someone just...
They block somebody who didn't talk to them?
And then you have the guy who they made the entire slideshow about who lives relatively nearby here in Keene for creeping on girls. So
I never got to see the slideshow.
You should check it out. It's entertaining.
All right.
Yeah. So someone just randomly messaging you and saying hi is very different from someone being creepy in your DMs.
All right. So random hi is not creepy, but beyond that, creepy?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, it's all about context and what they say. I mean, if they just randomly send you a penis of their
a
picture of their genitalia, yeah, that's creepy, right? But if they just say, hello, would you like to go out to dinner sometime? That's not creepy.
I had a girl that was really hot for me that I was not interested in, and she was like, she's sending me boob pics. She's like, send me D pics. So like my dog at the time was like scratching himself and he's all like bent around and his little red rock is like hanging out. So I sent him a picture of that. Never heard from her again.
That was probably the safe approach and the sensible approach. So getting on with this, the article, I'm assuming, was written by a dude, says it's a strange development. Why are we calling so many people, usually men, creepy? Well, despite the prevalence of the creepiness discourse, real research into the nature of creepiness is pretty new. It suggests that creepiness is related to disgust, which is an adaptive emotional response that helps to maintain a physical barrier between our bodies and potentially injurious external substances.
It's a place to start, sure.
Yeah, let's get further into this, though. Are men creepy? Do you think men are creepy, or at least can be creepy? 855-450-3733. What about creepy Uncle Joe? Let us know your thoughts on him. 855-450-3733.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,515. Silver at $17.92. and Bitcoin is trading around $7,243. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, Iraqi Prime Minister Adel Abdul Mahdi on Sunday accused the Trump administration of violating his nation's sovereignty and further heightening tensions in the region after the U.S. bombed several targets in Iraq and Syria, killing at least 25 fighters and injuring dozens more. The Pentagon claimed the airstrikes, which U.S. President Donald Trump approved late Saturday, were a defensive response to a rocket attack on an Iraqi military base last week that killed an American contractor. The U.S. blamed the Kataib Hezbollah militia for the attack and pointed fingers at Iran, which the Trump administration said is funding and arming the group. Kataib Hezbollah quickly vowed retaliatory action, saying the Trump administration's actions have left it with no choice but confrontation. An Iraqi militia group allied with Kataib Hezbollah said it's their duty to put an end to the U.S. military presence in Iraq through every legitimate method. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. On Thursday, Assistant Porham, Oklahoma Police Chief David Ray Cash was arrested and charged for crimes associated with the sexual assault of two small children, a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old. In this case, one of the victims actually called 911 to report the abuse in progress. The Free Thought Project, citing the Muskogee County Sheriff's Office, says that deputies responded to a 911 call on December 19th. The caller, reportedly one of the victims, told dispatch that the 49-year-old Cash was sexually assaulting them, according to an affidavit filed with the case. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation conducted a sexual assault nurse examination, which found injuries to one of the children were consistent with child sexual abuse. While he was detained during interviews, the assistant chief confessed to sexually assaulting the two children on multiple occasions between September and December. According to a 36-count grand jury indictment, a Seattle company used a hidden drain to dump a highly corrosive chemical solution directly into the sewer system. The Mind Unleashed reports inside the sewer, a robot's camera recorded a white stain of unknown origin. And according to a federal indictment handed down earlier this month, federal agents executed a search warrant after real-time monitoring equipment they installed indicated an unusual spike in the water's pH. During the search, a portable pump covered in a high pH liquid and a hidden drain that had never been disclosed were both discovered. It turns out that both the company's owner and manager of the plant, who happen to be cousins, have been lying to regulators since at least 2009, according to the indictment. The scheme was discovered in 2018. The Seattle Barrel and Cooperage Company collects used 55-gallon industrial drums and resells them after undergoing a reconditioning process. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Hamburglar urges a Senate subcommittee to rubble. This is Doyle Redland reporting. Hamburger advocate and convicted felon Hamburglar denounced a prison system he called rubble as he testified before the Senate subcommittee on penal reform. Hamburglar, convicted in 1998 of breaking and entering a McDonald's hamburger franchise in South Beloit, Wisconsin, and currently serving a sentence of 3 to 5 years, made this impassioned plea before being interrupted by U.S. Senator Bob Smith of Rhode Island.
Certainly there is room for improvement in our prison system, but I would hardly call the current situation rubble.
After delivering his message to the subcommittee, Hamburglar was promptly placed in chains and returned to prison to serve out the remainder of his sentence in solitary confinement. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
Jay.
And Mark.
And we're discussing creepy men. I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who would describe me as a creepy man. I've encountered them, in fact.
Okay.
Largely on the internet, but it's all a matter of perspective, as we were talking about before. So what exactly is a creepy person? I don't want to say creepy man because in theory, I guess women could be creepy too, but have either of you ever been creeped out by a woman?
Yes.
Well, okay, so I have felt threatened, but not like sort of physically threatened, just sort of my way of being is going to be altered here if I don't get out of this situation.
Okay.
Like perhaps she doesn't understand boundaries. In a sort of
that's what I would characterize
classical
as
sense.
Creepiness is that the person exhibits some sort of behavior or just puts off a vibe that they won't respect one's boundaries.
So you can define it as creepy if you wish. I kind of reserve creepy as feeling physically threatened also. Now, I feel like a lot of people in this world, probably a lot of women, are a little hyper vigilant when it comes to, because I mean honestly, women have to live in a world where they're walking around and every other person is physically dominating to them. I don't live in that world. I live in a world where very few of the people in it are physically dominating to me. Like there's just not that many of them that can, with being 6 foot tall, knowing jujitsu, being able to fight, being 200 pounds, all these things kind of come together where I don't walk around being physically scared. Sometimes I am. Every once in a while, I'll run across some guy that is a, terrifying guy who's drunk and, a few things like that. And then, but that's just physically threatened.
Now, you seem to be using creep or creepy as a synonym for scary or intimidating.
All right, so I think that, I think so. I think a person's got to appear as though there's some kind of threat, right? They're interested in you, as opposed to.
See, I find them to be mutually exclusive.
Okay,
at least in broad strokes, I would say. I don't know if I would want to say they're always mutually exclusive, but I would say that a creepy person is creepy because they want to do a thing, or because their behavior suggests they would want to do a thing, while an intimidating or scary person is someone who would do a thing, right? So a creepy person is the one who sends you the messages about violating you, and the scary person is the one who actually makes the plan to violate you.
All right.
But some people, when they get a message saying, from some dude who's like, hey, little girl, I'm going to do whatever to you, that scares the hell out of them.
Yeah.
Especially because
I would say they're degrees of the same behavior is how I would actually put it. Not that they're mutually exclusive, but creepy is the last step before you get to legitimately scary is how I think I would define it. But let's see what the article has to say. Biologically, being grossed out by, for example, the idea of ingesting feces makes sense.
Right. That's what.
Why would they go to that example, though?
That's disgusting. Well, they're trying to show what disgusting is.
It keeps us from getting ill.
That's disgusting.
Yes. So feeling creeped out by a person or a social situation, however, is less straightforward. Creepiness is different from disgust in that it refers to a feeling of unease in the face of social liminality, particularly where sex and death are involved. We become uncomfortable when events don't easily fit our expectations or when they transgress social rules. In a 2016 study, the psychologist Francis McAndrew and some other person at Knox College concluded that creepiness is anxiety aroused by the ambiguity of whether there is something to fear or not.
Okay.
And by the ambiguity of the precise nature of the threat.
Of what is, yeah. So creepiness is a feeling of not knowing what's going on. Okay.
Emotionally, creepiness helps us externalize our...
Well, a lot of women describe creepiness as some guy coming on to them one time and they're unwelcome, right?
I don't know that it's fair to say that...
I'm not saying it's fair. As in fact, I would make the case that it is not.
No, I don't think it's fair to say that women say that.
Okay.
Maybe some women, sure.
I said some people. A lot of them women. If I didn't say that, as was what I was attempting to.
You may have in fact said those exact
words. I think
words.
most people who use the term creepy tend to be women, and that is now trickling down in the nomenclature. My big problem with creepy is the term is that it is undefined, unregulated, and basically it costs people nothing to say it, but is extraordinarily expensive if it's said about you.
There's a broad spectrum when it comes to the term creepy. Best I can tell.
Indeed. But there's really no good definition for it.
So feeling creeped out justifies our decision. Well, they just gave us a pretty good definition of it. It's anxiety aroused by the ambiguity of whether or not there is something to fear. And,
so like when a cop comes behind you and starts tailgating you?
Oh yeah, that's creepy.
Right.
Right?
That's terrifying is what that is.
Yes. Oh. And or it's ambiguous, and the creepy factor comes in because you don't know whether or not they're going to pull you over.
Right.
I mean,
if they don't have their lights on, yeah.
I mean, they're going to, in my experience. I mean, once they start tailgating you, oh yeah, you've been marked.
Oh, and I'm ready for it. Cell 411's just got to push the button.
Feeling creeped out justifies our decision to shut down rather than undertake the task of analyzing ambiguously threatening situations. It is a form of cognitive paralysis indicating that we are unsure how to proceed. I don't think that's entirely true. I've seen lots of people, women in particular, extract themselves from creepy situations and from creepy men.
Maybe they don't mean cognitive paralysis, meaning you can't do anything. I don't know why they would choose that term, but... Just like you can't think.
But I mean, it's not. If somebody is creeped out and they're having this emotional response to a situation or to a person, you can't really expect them in that moment to analyze the situation to determine whether or not they're in danger. I mean, humans are designed not to stand there going, I think this vehicle flying toward me at 50 miles per hour may not actually hit me. I'm going to analyze this situation to determine whether or not I'm actually in danger.
And I think that's the human nature aspect of it. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I just don't know how to address it and go any further is because you're dealing with people who, like I said, women, have every right to feel threatened. And
creepiness,
they're determining whether they feel threatened or not.
Yes, and they're creepy, and they use the label of creepy for anyone who can create that ambiguous. I've never made a woman feel threatened. You know, I'm pretty
sure. That you're
sure,
aware of, right?
I'm sure I have.
Made her feel threatened, like you were going to do her harm?
Yeah. Just by being who I am, sure.
I know I did.
But you didn't cause that. I mean, she caused that.
All right.
By what I mean is you never implied that you would harm a woman, right?
Not intentionally or knowingly.
You're going to go out to the bar with me, and we're going to get some drinks, and we're going back to your place, or I'm just going to take you to my place and beat you to death.
Not intentionally or knowingly, no.
Right.
But I certainly could have said something to somebody whom, not coming to the top of my head right now, that they interpreted as, threatening.
Okay, fair point.
Right. Like the thing is that come-ons You know, when you're the gender. What am I supposed to say? Sex? I'm not sure. When you're the person that's supposed to make the come on, not the person who's supposed to receive the come on, you've got to come up with something on the spot. Sometimes when you come up with that thing, it could sound threatening. It could sound lame. It could sound a whole variety of things.
Sure.
There's a Free Stater who is going around telling people that I've threatened her with violence. And the people she's told it to have reported to me, and they've laughed about it. I mean, her credibility is pretty poor within the Free State Project and then people who know her. But I don't know where this happened. Maybe she'll call in. She knows who she is. I doubt she's listening, though.
Well, have you ever been creeped out by Jay or by anyone else? Give us a call. Let us know. That number's 855-450-3733. Again, that's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live.
Balance of Nature, changing the world one life at a time.
Back in January, February, I'd get home, make myself something to eat, blah, blah, blah. My girlfriend works nights. By 8:30, 8 o'clock, I'd be in bed. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, if this is what the rest of life is like, I'm doomed. Today is day 14 of me taking Balance of Nature, and my energy level's through the roof. It took me 5 years of hearing it on talk radio to actually try it. The difference is night and day.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Call or go online now and become a preferred customer, which gives you our best pricing and free shipping. And we will take an additional 35% off of your first order. This will be a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code FTL.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. Have you heard of LibertyCon? LibertyCon is not only a convention with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO and co-founder John Mackey and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith, but it's also unique because you get a chance to network with more than 70 pro-liberty organizations, one-on-one for the purpose of career advancement, business, and internship opportunities. April 3rd through 5th in Washington, D.C. You can learn more by visiting libertycon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on your registration. That's libertycon.com. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind using our toll-free number. That's 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
Jay.
And Mark.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Well, now with AnyPay, you can earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. So finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business. Talk to the owners, get them to accept cryptocurrency and all of that, and tell them that you did so at anypayinc.com. Again, that's anypayinc.com, because AnyPay is going to pay ongoing commissions for signing up businesses to accept Bitcoin Cash and Dash. Every sale, you get this commission. So it's instant. There's no waiting for weeks or months or whatever for your payout. It works with both Bitcoin Cash and Dash. Again, check it out at anypayinc.com. So we've been talking about creepiness and what is and isn't creepy.
Before we go on, I'd like to say that the AnyPay app is now back in the Play Store for Android, named AnyPay Cash Register. There were some problems with naming and logos, and there were some other things out there, Chinese knockoffs or whatever, that were looking very similar. Not so much now. AnyPay Cash Register.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
So conventional wisdom tells us to trust our gut, but researchers say that our gut is concerned more with regulating the boundaries of social mores than keeping us safe.
Right.
I don't know if I can agree with that or not. I really have to look more into the study that they're about to refer to.
Yeah, who are they studying?
I mean, if trusting your gut doesn't keep you safe, that's kind of an evolutionary problem, and on, the average scale over eons, it will solve itself.
Well, I mean, you can be safe and still be marginalizing somebody for behavior that is just a violation of a more, right?
I guess, but I guess sociologically speaking, the reason those mores exist is to not cause creepiness, right? The reason it's wrong to walk up to someone.
It's against a more for you to walk around, frankly. I mean, here you are, 6'2", and bright red hair, in a skirt, and sexually ambiguous, right?
Sure.
Does that sound right? I'm not trying to be mean here. So, I mean, there are lots of people that they're offended by you walking into the grocery store.
Yeah.
Right?
Screw them.
Well, I'm with you. Like, you gotta be you. I gotta be me, right? Whatever that is, that's not me. But right. Just because it's not me doesn't mean it's not you, and you do you. I'm just here to get a shrimp ring, right? I don't care. Right. So, that's I don't like mores because people use them as ways to marginalize people quickly, easily,
I guess I would agree,
and effectively.
But the purpose of the creepiness and the gut feeling and the intimidation factor, the fight or flight response, the fear, all of that is because some group of people, some percentage of a certain group of people tend to exhibit characteristics or behavior that is threatening or intimidating, whether they mean to or not.
I think I creeped two girls out actually last night.
Really?
I was going to plow a driveway, and there's this little parking area, like kind of a community, park and ride thing. It's just a dirt parking lot at an intersection in Ware, New Hampshire. And girl had her car parked there, not good tires on it. And the snow was really heavy. I mean, it was, sleet, rain, snow, sleet, rain for like 2 days. And so the snowbank was pushed like right up against the front of her car as the guy plowed this parking lot, and she just couldn't get out. So I'm driving by, and I open carry pretty much every time I go into Manchester and work. I carry either open or concealed because it's, there's crackheads.
Yeah.
And when you open carry and crackheads walk down the street, they go to the other side of the street. And so it's pretty convenient. I don't have to, when I'm working there. So I have my gun, it's drop leg, and I get out of the truck and I grab my shovel and I walk over, and they just look at me and they look at the gun, and they all take like 3 steps back. And I go, well,
maybe they were crackheads.
No, these were two young teenage girls and a boy.
Uh-huh.
And there was one. They had dropped one car was there. They had dropped off one of the girls to get her car because they had carpooled somewhere. And I'm like, hey, it's New Hampshire. You need to carry a shovel in your car with you. Just get a little camping shovel at Walmart for $5. And I shoveled the car out, and I helped them out. And they're all happy. And the girl goes, "You having that gun scared me, but you seem like a nice man." And I go, "You should
You should leave the city sometime."
Well, this wasn't in a city. This was in Ware, New Hampshire.
Really?
Yeah, this is out in the woods. And I said, well, you should Google, Texas
Well, even so,
man.
you didn't creep her out. The gun did.
Yeah,
and
I
that's
guess
probably
so.
because of a lifetime of watching media that caused her to be creeped out by, guns.
Right.
So I told her about this shooting in Texas where, some bad guy walked into a place to go do what would probably do a mass shooting. And because there was a man there with a gun that was a good guy, they stopped him. And she's like, oh, I didn't hear about that. I'm like, yeah, check it out. And but I was just thinking about that because I knew I creeped out somebody recently. When did this happen?
See, Mark, the difference, I think, with me going into a grocery store is that no one can rightly make the accusation that my presence in a skirt being 6'2" with bright red hair is threatening or intimidating.
I don't think they're threatening or intimidating. No, I was talking about violations of mores.
Okay.
Mores as in
But didn't
short
it use-
for morals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's pretty loose in norms and mores, and I don't know the difference between them. Probably is more of a violation of a norm than it is of a more, but, then again, so is creepiness.
So in a 2017 Canadian study, female undergraduates were shown images of Caucasian male faces from 3 groups. Emotionally neutral faces taken from an image bank, images judged to be creepy in a pilot study, and images of criminals from America's Most Wanted. They were then asked to rate the faces according to creepiness, trustworthiness, and attractiveness. Across all 3 groups, there was a strong correlation between faces that participants considered trustworthy and attractive, and in some instances, general attractiveness was negatively correlated with judgments of creepiness. So the more attractive a person was, to go back
The
to
less
what you were
creepy they
saying,
were.
the less creepy they were.
And more trustworthy they were.
Yes, which isn't altogether surprising, but this study itself, I don't know how indicative it really is of how people behave, because most people don't browse faces on the internet and go, oh yeah, I would totally marry this person and spend my life with them. Just look at their face. They're so trustworthy.
Yeah.
Right? That's a really superficial assessment.
I have to agree with it, and it's because I believe myself to hold this particular privilege, the privilege of being attractive. Now, I don't use that term too often. I believe privilege should be reserved for people who are, basically attractiveness, intelligence, and wealth. But those are the only real privileges out there. But I consider myself to be attractive, and I haven't done so bad. I've collected some evidence, right? At some point,
I don't know many people who don't consider themselves attractive.
How many of them are convicted murderers?
I don't know.
Not many. So
I would say that most convicted murderers, however, do believe themselves to be attractive.
I would say that most men consider themselves to be attractive, and
I'll
most.
tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
If you're David, a few well-chosen words can help level the playing field with Goliath. I'm Holland Cook from survivalspeech.com. Recently, I saw a Yellow Pages ad for an appliance repair company, and the headline read, "Why wait for Sears?" If you're going to the Yellow Pages, the Dead Sea Scrolls of advertising, you're ready to buy right now. So this is an attention-grabbing message. And how about the plumber whose radio ad says, "Call by noon Thursday, and we'll be there Saturday at no extra cost"? Smart guy. Most plumbing firms give their crew the weekend off. This one gives them Sunday and Monday off. In the words of a respected advertising executive, cut to the chase, make it quick, and tell me exactly what you can do for me, especially if you're looking for work. For more tips on critical communication skills for the way things are now, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That number's 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
Jay.
And Mark.
LibertyCon is a unique Liberty convention, April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. for people who want to network with more than 70 pro-liberty organizations for the purpose of career advancement or business and internship opportunities. You'll hear from a list of incredible speakers like John Mackey, the CEO of Whole Foods and co-founder of it, who will speak on conscious capitalism. Vernon Smith, who has a Nobel Prize in economics and is going to speak on alternative markets. Miriam Issa, a pop culture expert. Nassim Taleb, who spent 21 years as a risk taker. There's so much more. Visit libertycon.com for more details on additional speakers and events and use code FTL for a $10 discount on your registration. Again, that's libertycon.com. Student travel scholarships are available and discount rooms for everyone at the Marriott Marquis. Save with early registration at libertycon.com. Now, there's a bunch of creepy people in Washington, D.C., for sure, working in the Senate building, whatever they call it.
All of them. I mean, the District of Criminals should be called District of Creeps, actually, I think.
I mean, that is where they have Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who said that he didn't say he was willing to have sex with someone who was his daughter, but he did essentially admit that he was sexually attracted to his daughter.
Well, I mean, if she wasn't my daughter, I think is what the statement was. I mean,
something along those lines.
Well, if she wasn't my sister, if she wasn't I've heard a lot of people say if she wasn't my cousin, all kind of stuff like that. And he's just...
Yeah, but daughter, that's a bit different, I would say.
There's a lot more reasons to pick on Trump than saying that. Like, he has ordered that a lot of people just die in the Middle East.
I mean, certainly, but we're talking about creepiness, and as far as creepy behavior goes, being willing to just uttering the statement, if she wasn't my daughter.
All right, so I get that there was I can't remember what the singer was, but some singer some time ago's father said something like, she's got C cups, of course she's hot, or something like that, right? And it seems like...
Sounds like Miley Cyrus. That would be my guess.
I think it was previous to that.
Okay.
She was tall and blonde. I'm not very good with my entertainment trivia. So, I mean... I think it's I'll never have to be in this situation, right? I've got a young son, so I don't know what this is like. But, what it must be like for the father of an attractive woman. And obviously, somebody's going to ask you questions because these entertainment reporters have nothing better to do than chase everybody around. And, I mean, I don't think Trump necessarily volunteered this stuff, but I mean, I don't know.
Stupid response.
It's a flippant response that gets made a big deal of because, well, everything that Trump says is a big deal now.
And it's one of the only things they could pick on him about because they won't pick on him about
He's
legit
certainly
things.
a lecher. I mean, no doubt he's been through plenty. But, turns out powerful men throughout history have been a little more likely that lechers are willing to move up the power structure.
So getting back to this Canadian study, evidently the faces that were taken from America's Most Wanted were not rated as significantly more creepy than the neutral group, which is pretty much exactly what I would expect. Do they think that there is some facial recognition software built into the human brain when we can look at someone and say, oh, yeah, that guy's probably a criminal, right? Because that's what they seem to be implying that they expected.
Well, I do think we have that, that we are highly developed for determining who the other is. So we're a small group primate, for whatever that means. Science has determined humans are a small group primate. You can get all upset about that if you want. Right, that's small group. So everybody who's not in the group is out of the group. They are an other. And yeah, we can tell by sort of smell and look and these sorts of things who's in the in group and who's out of the in group, whatever our particular in group is. And so, I mean, are we good at telling whether a person is bad or not? No. But we are good at telling whether or not they're part of our group or not part of our group, whatever group we've created for ourselves.
Sure. But they seem to be...
And everybody who's not in our group is bad by default if you're a small group primate, because bands of small group primates war or battled all the time. They'd come and they'd steal each other's women, their resources, and these kind of things. So yes, I would say that we are highly developed in this area.
I personally think of it the opposite way.
Well, what they're suggesting is that they expected the women to look at the pictures of the men from America's Most Wanted and rate them as significantly more creepy than just random other pictures of men.
Right.
And that's very different from detecting otherness or whatever, because one of those criminals can be in your in-group, whether they're a criminal or not.
Right, and you will make every excuse in the world for somebody who's in your in-group who's caught doing something bad. And so...
Happens all the time.
I'm not saying bad as in a moral equivalency to bad. I'm talking about bad in your mind as bad.
Okay, so a bad as in a moral
perception.
Equivalency. Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is that humans aren't necessarily good at looking at people and determining whether somebody is evil, but they are good at determining whether somebody is in or out of their particular social group. And anybody who's out of their social group is, to their mind, before they've been tested, bad.
Okay.
And dangerous.
So my social group, or my business group for years was people in the horse business. And and I worked with a lot of women. And my observation throughout life has pretty much been, especially these really good-looking horsewomen, and I'm saying horsewomen because it's the industry I was in. They are a lot more likely to take advantage of a guy for some financial gain or whatever than some not attractive horsewomen.
Now, do men have a term for women who do that? Because I mean,
gold digger.
I'm talking more like I'm going to show up and this one particular pretty hot blonde that I used to sell a lot of hay to was always just really difficult to get paid from, and always had some reason and whatever. She was just always difficult. And then a few other people, women I dealt with that were very attractive. It seems like the most attractive ones were generally the most difficult to deal with because, they've just been able to get away with it.
Just doors will open.
Difficult
right.
a lot. And it actually got to the point to where I'm I show up, one lady is brand new customer and she's like a 10. She's hot. And I'm like, oh man, this is going to be difficult. I almost wanted to just leave, but actually she was fine. There was no issues. Great customer. And I can remember and then there was these other women that were, one of my guys helped me. Oh, she's about as good looking as ditch water, he says to me. And I go, she's a good lady. She always pays. She's super honest. There's no BS. But definitely I kind of got a little prejudice against, these really hot horse broads because they were difficult. Most times they were difficult.
Now, the only kind of person I've ever seen just jump to the front of a line at a bar is a insanely attractive woman. I've never seen a man do that. I've only ever seen insanely hot women do it. And it goes back to what you were saying, which is why I wondered whether or not you had a term for it. For these types
spoiled.
Of entitled spoiled. There we go. Spoiled is to women as creepy is to men.
All right.
I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah, I don't know of too many men who can be fairly described as spoiled, nor too many women who can be fairly described as creepy. But it goes the other way in alarming quantities.
Well, I would, my first caveat would be that the vast majority of women do not fit in this category for me.
The vast majority of men are also not creepy.
I don't know. I think that a lot of men have been called creepy.
Even if they're not meaning to be creepy, creepiness, works its way out there for some girls.
So creepiness just kind of creeps in?
Yeah, creeps in.
More about this. Unkempt and dirty men, evidently, and men with abnormal facial features were more likely to be rated creepy. So it does sound like a just physical attractiveness thing. 855-450-3733, 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live.
Let me ask you something. What are you doing when you put money in a 401k or IRA, or store jumper cables in your vehicle, or purchase health insurance? You're preparing. You're preparing to ensure you have enough money for retirement. You're preparing for when your car battery dies, or to have assistance paying a major unexpected medical bill. That all makes sense. The same goes for building a food storage plan. You're preparing for when emergencies or disasters strike and shelves go empty at your grocery store. The best way to prepare is with My Patriot Supply. They've helped 1 million hardworking Americans become more self-sufficient. My Patriot Supply sells hundreds of items, including dozens of emergency food kits at MyPatriotSupply.com. It could be an earthquake, a cyber attack freezing our banking system, or a disaster that shuts down our power grid for weeks. For all these emergencies and more, get your supplies and prepare today at MyPatriotSupply.com. No more rushing to find empty store shelves because you're too late. Do it now so you're ready. MyPatriotSupply.com.
I'm here with Scott Useum, founder of OMG Tax. Tell us how your company helps our listeners out there who have a problem with the IRS.
My team of lawyers, enrolled agents, and licensed tax experts remove wage garnishments sometimes in the same day. We even have reduced the total debt some of our clients were required to pay through what is known as an offer in compromise.
Can you give us an example of somebody you help?
Oh, can I ever? We have taken a $500,000 liability with the IRS. Guess what? The client didn't pay a dime through the representation known as non-collectible status with the government.
If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 and you want to see if it's possible to pay a lot less, call OMG Tax right now for a free tax-saving consultation.
Call 800-486-8112. 800-486-8112. 800-486-8112. That's 800-486-8112.
Free Talk Live.
Hundreds of videos of people posting, the snow in Georgia isn't real because if you take it and you wad it into a snowball and you hold a lighter to it, it doesn't burn. And it leaves these charred black marks. And it's like, yeah, that's the way snow behaves everywhere because it's ice. And there's way more molecules in, a block ice than there is in a match.
Because size does matter.
Yeah, extremely. When it comes to temperature, absolutely.
Can't you cut the Southerners a break? I mean, they've never seen
No!
snow.
If you think that there's a conspiracy out there to spray plastic snow across the
Oh,
entire,
is that what they're saying?
the
Is that what
entire
they're
state
saying?
of Georgia, and you think that the snow isn't real, you're a moron.
Wait, is that what they actually say in the video?
Yes! My friends and fellow patriots, it's a conspiracy. They're spraying chemtrail snow all over the state of Georgia.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
Jay.
And Mark.
And the next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says you'll be able to send money around the globe in only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw it directly to your bank account. There's no need to wait, though, as Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered masternodes that allow anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. When the new wallet launches, because of Divvy's relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be available in more than 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more at divvyproject.org. That's DIVI project.org. Now, we've been talking about creepy people, creepy behavior in general. But before we get further into the article, let's go to the phones. We've got Lumpy calling. Lumpy, you're on Free Talk Live.
Good evening, you three. I hope you're all doing well in this Happy New Year to y'all. And I'm sorry to go off topic, but I do believe, before I go off topic, I think James from Arizona is about the creepiest person I think I've ever heard in my life. But anyway, so I've got a problem, and I'm hoping that the three of you, and I'm probably going to get an answer from Jay on this, because I bet you Jay has got the brains on this one the most. Not that you all don't have other brains. You guys are all brilliant. I appreciate you very much. But I've got a friend who tells me, Trump is such a great guy. He's gotten rid of the second central bank. He's going to get rid of the Fed. And I'm like, and I'm thinking, I go to this thing in my head where, oh yeah, this is the 4D chess thing. I don't believe in Trump, Clinton, Obama. I don't believe in any of these presidential people. I think all politicians are creepy, with the exception of one guy ever, who was Ron Paul, maybe Mike Gravel at that point in time. But he had some lessons to learn, and nobody knows who the heck he is. But anyway, maybe I'm out of touch on this, but what is it that makes people think that this guy who's filed bankruptcy, I don't know how many times, has ripped off more people than you can ever imagine to get to where he is financially? How can you possibly think that Trump gives one piece of any care about any of you people? These people seek power. There's an old Henry Ford quote that's I'm gonna botch it, but it's something like this: we see the world as we are, not as it is. And when I heard that kind of was life-changing for me, because I see these people as power-seeking, hungry now, and I can understand it, because that's not what I am, and that's not what any of you are. What is it that makes people defy logic and reason and believe in these leaders and think that somebody like Trump is going to actually care about them? Is it this? I don't know if it's this greater good image. I don't know what it is. And how do I talk to these people? I feel like I'm out of words. I'm like, I just get so stunned that they can even believe this. And these are people I respect and who exercise all kinds of caution. But they're very reasonable people. And then all of a sudden, this completely unreasonable. They think he's going to do something good for them. How can they possibly say this anyway? Anyway, that's about
Trump
it for
worship. Why do people worship Trump? Well, I would say it's why do they? The same reason that a bunch of people worshipped Obama. I would first off, 15,000 hours of school indoctrination, brainwashing. It doesn't help to just fluoride in the water and all kinds of other things, kind of dumbing you down.
Yeah, but Jay, we say that to these people, and they look at us like we got six heads.
Oh yeah,
they don't
right.
Understand
You are right.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are people that are such diehard Republicans that if Adolf Hitler was reincarnated and won the Republican nomination, I mean, they would get swastika tattoos immediately because they are just such diehard Republicans. And then you got people who are such diehard Democrats, same exact thing. I know.
Well, wasn't the Nazi movement? Wasn't that actually a left movement anyway?
Depends on who you're.
It doesn't
National
matter. Left
Socialist.
and right. Yeah, left and right is just a bunch of people who are divided and conquered, as I see. But yes.
Yeah,
their own psychologically, their own philosophically, their own mentally, their own.
I mean, your question ultimately is: how do you convince a delusional, insane person that they are delusional and insane?
Yes, and how do I convince somebody he's going to get rid of the Federal Reserve? Are you kidding me? He's a populist. He's saying these things because he's a salesman.
Facts don't matter to them. I mean, they're delusional. They believe what they're going to believe, regardless of the facts you put out in front of them.
Yes, but facts have to matter to these people. They're important, But anyway, maybe it's not mattering to me right now.
I think that so people see the benefit, whatever the benefit they perceive of having their particular politician win, and in order to get you to perceive the benefits, they're going to try to say things that get you to, like their guy, so that their guy is going to win, whomever their guy might be. They'll say whatever it takes, and you can watch it on the campaign trail over and over again. I mean, it just keeps happening, and all I'd say is that this all comes back from the lineage of the state being an organization that claims the monopoly, privilege, and the use of violence in given landmass. I mean, the state originally was just a bunch of robbers that didn't feel like traveling around and getting chased, so they stayed in one spot and began to extract stuff from people by protecting them from the other robbers.
Yeah.
And, they've developed all kinds of systems.
Yeah, the most
like looking like
resilient.
dad, basically.
Yeah, the most resilient was the religious system. We're like, we're doing this for your own benefit. Oh, and by the way, we're omnipotent and benevolent.
I don't want your benefits. That's what I told the state. And, for Trump, for example, like, even when Trump was going to run for president, my problem with Trump is I knew I had a customer that owned property in New Jersey that was a horse stable that actually got taken in eminent domain for a parking lot for one of Trump's buildings.
Oh, that's frustrating.
She lost her horse stable. And
so I'm assuming she was not a Trump supporter at this point.
No. And this happened and actually she was a good friend of my dad's. I was a little kid when this happened, this whole stealing the property. But, he was using the force and violence of government when he was in the private sector.
Oh, yeah. He always has been.
Just through eminent domain. I mean, and let's even say we're a constitutionalist and eminent domain's okay. We're not talking about power lines or a road or something for the public good. This was a parking lot for one of
public
his
use versus
buildings.
Public good. So they can say whatever they want that is the public good, but in fact for the public use is very specific. So power lines, public use. City parking lot,
but
public use.
But would it not be better for the power company to pay you for your land?
Well, in eminent domain, they pay you. They pay you whatever they think is the going rate.
Yeah,
what
but
would be better,
if you don't want to sell, let me put it that way.
What would be better is that if it's so important that the government take the land, first some states have passed laws that says they just can't. You just can't do eminent domain or whatever. But here's the best way, I think. If it's so important, pay double the assessed rate. Go, double the rate of the evaluation by an independent third-party evaluator. Pay double that rate, and then determine whether or not you need that land, because then you're going to deal with people who are a little bit more like, well, I'm glad they took my land.
See, I don't even know about that. I think it would be up to the person who owns the land to state their value.
Agreed, but if you believe that eminent domain is necessary, I don't believe it's necessary. In fact, auction
it's
theory.
Immoral.
Auction theory preempts it. Well, I'm not talking about immoral. I'm talking about necessary. Auction theory preempts it. So,
nothing immoral is necessary.
That's okay. We could have that conversation. There are two lines. There's point A and point B.
Okay.
You can draw 3 lines between point A and point B. The straight line, and then 2 lines that are close to straight but go through other properties. Is all you do is take lines A, B, and C, make offers to everybody who's along those lines. I'm presuming you're putting in a road, right? Okay. And say to each of those people, look, here's the offer on your property. You can sell. We're making an offer, but the offer is contingent on everybody along A, B, or C selling. And at that point you have, bidding and auction, the whole thing. You're not going to have people necessarily wanting to, the people that don't want to sell don't have to. But somebody along lines B and C may very well do it. At that point, you're fine. So
what about in the scenario where everybody along point A wants to sell except one person?
Then it doesn't sell. I mean, I guess they can put some pressure on them, but that's about it.
I don't even think they should use pressure. I think they should be like, okay, well, all of your other neighbors agreed to this, and now you've changed your mind. Okay, that's your right. We don't agree, but that's your right. So we'll pay you $1 million over asking price or whatever.
Well, then everybody else is going to want $1 million over asking price.
They should have stuck out.
Well, then they're going to feel cheated, and they're going to go to the news and talk.
Good point. 855-450-3733, talking about eminent domain. This is Free Talk Live.
And not to mention the shedding, I would vacuum the carpet 3 times a week. Frodo was scratching all night long, bouncing on the side of the bed, keeping me awake the whole entire night from all the scratching and chewing. It kind of makes you neurotic.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy?
Mounds and mounds of fur all over the place.
Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
Dinovite is nutrition.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
He gobbles it up. He's not up all night scratching. His shedding is minimal, and it is such a pleasure to have my calm, relaxed, non-shedding puppy back. And I have to thank Dinovite for that.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dinovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,515, silver at $17.92, and Bitcoin is trading around $7,243. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, Iraqi Prime Minister Adel Abdul Mahdi on Sunday accused the Trump administration of violating his nation's sovereignty and further heightening tensions in the region after the U.S. bombed several targets in Iraq and Syria, killing at least 25 fighters and injuring dozens more. The Pentagon claimed the airstrikes, which U.S. President Donald Trump approved late Saturday, were a defensive response to a rocket attack on an Iraqi military base last week that killed an American contractor. The U.S. blamed the Kataib Hezbollah militia for the attack and pointed fingers at Iran, which the Trump administration said is funding and arming the group. Kataib Hezbollah quickly vowed retaliatory action, saying the Trump administration's actions have left it with no choice but confrontation. An Iraqi militia group allied with Kataib Hezbollah said it's their duty to put an end to the U.S. military presence in Iraq through every legitimate method. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. On Thursday, Assistant Porham, Oklahoma Police Chief David Ray Cash was arrested and charged for crimes associated with the sexual assault of two small children, a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old. In this case, one of the victims actually called 911 to report the abuse in progress. The Free Thought Project, citing the Muskogee County Sheriff's Office, says that deputies responded to a 911 call on December 19th. The caller, reportedly one of the victims, told dispatch that the 49-year-old Cash was sexually assaulting them, according to an affidavit filed with the case. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation conducted a sexual assault nurse examination, which found injuries to one of the children were consistent with child sexual abuse. While he was detained during interviews, the assistant chief confessed to sexually assaulting the two children on multiple occasions between September and December. According to a 36-count grand jury indictment, a Seattle company used a hidden drain to dump a highly corrosive chemical solution directly into the sewer system. The Mind Unleashed reports inside the sewer, a robot's camera recorded a white stain of unknown origin. And according to a federal indictment handed down earlier this month, Federal agents executed a search warrant after real-time monitoring equipment they installed indicated an unusual spike in the water's pH. During the search, a portable pump covered in a high pH liquid and a hidden drain that had never been disclosed were both discovered. It turns out that both the company's owner and manager of the plant, who happen to be cousins, have been lying to regulators since at least 2009, according to the indictment. The scheme was discovered in 2018. The Seattle Barrel and Cooperage Company collects used 55-gallon industrial drums and resells them after undergoing a reconditioning process. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
The CEO of Dollar Tree unveils the long-rumored foil baking pan. A new donor liver complains about the difficulty of working with Lou Reed. And a local couple keeps their marriage together for the sake of no one. We'll keep this as quick and painless as possible. This is the Onion Week in Review. A study published this week in the Journal of Financial Economics found that 83% of gamblers quit right before they would have hit the big one. Researchers confirmed that roughly 8 out of 10 gamblers who walked away from slot machines, poker games, horse races, roulette, and other games were consistently just a single stake away from winning it all, and unknowingly gave up a lifetime of fortune by quitting prematurely.
Our study proved that subjects who closed an online poker session, walked away from a slot machine, or even gave up gambling altogether would have won millions of dollars in the next bet. Also, people who walk away after hitting it big are missing out on a chance to make more money. I mean, when you're hot, you're hot.
In other news, an Asian guy has a separate group of Asian friends, and a vain Galapagos tortoise tries to pass for 90.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
Jay.
Oh, sorry, Jay. There we go.
Jay.
And Mark.
And we've been talking about what is and isn't creepy. But before we get into that, we've had him sitting here for a few minutes. Gene, you're on Free Talk Live. Are you still with us? I'm so bad at my job at the moment. Okay. What's on your mind, Gene?
Okay. I wanted to talk about a story of compare two different stories. One is a shooting that is stopped by private parties in a church, and the other one is an armed chase of a UPS truck that ended in something like 200 rounds of ammo being fired and 2 innocent bystanders being killed. And this is to show as an example of the difference between when private people take justice or vengeance in their hands and when you
Gene, I'm
farm
sorry, you're
that
getting
out.
a lot of packet loss there.
Oh, really? Okay.
You downloading the latest episode of Mandalorian, or what's going on?
No, actually, it's over my phone, but I'm going to stick it closer to the window here. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, it seems to have.
So, okay.
Yeah,
so
I think that one of the glaring differences between the church shooting in Texas, where the the concealed carry permit holder goes and guns down a guy who just started shooting people at the church, versus whatever the situation is where police officers are basically held unaccountable for their actions, is that had this CCW guy, the concealed carry permit holder guy, had he shot 3 people while he was attempting to kill this other person, he would be held responsible for that in some manner or another. And it's curious to me that the people that we expect to protect us we hold to the least level of accountability. And I can't understand that to save my life. I just don't get how people can think that this is a good scenario for anybody.
The expectation of the police to protect you is false, Mark. According
Agreed.
to the Supreme Court, even.
But it's an expectation.
Yeah, it's an expectation that's put in the wrong place because obviously it's clear that they don't care about the people. And at the church shooting, and I watched that video several times, it was just pow, pow, and pow. That's how fast the 3 shots took place. 2 of them came from the guy's shotgun. The third shot was from the security. And he took 1 shot, hit the guy, he hit the ground, and then everybody pulled their guns out, but yet there was no hail of gunfire. Everybody was ready to shoot if they needed to, but everybody kept their fingers off the triggers, and they made sure the situation was secure, and it was 1 shot to that guy. That's all. Now, if the police had been doing this...
Now, let me ask a question, because I didn't follow any of this at all. I mean, I was aware that it was a thing, but honestly, I get tired of the whole libertarians going on endlessly about how good guys with the gun always stop a bad guy with the gun thing and just trotting up the example of look what happened. It's proof we're right thing. So did the armed gunman who came in there to cause a problem actually shoot anyone?
2 people are dead.
Okay.
Because he
killed
the
them.
gunman.
Right.
He killed 2 people, and the gunman himself was killed by 1 shot. Now, if this had been done by the Goonerman Goon Squad, there would have been 200 rounds fired, and there probably would have been 3 or 4 dead bystanders who they would probably blame on the gunman, say, well, it was all the gunman's fault, even though the goons themselves are the ones that shot lead everywhere and killed innocent people. So this is why I say...
And this is, by the way, by no means isolated. When Eric Dorner was running from the police were running from the police. In California, cops found, I think it was a pickup truck or an SUV that vaguely fit the description and lit it up with more than 100 rounds. I mean, these guys dropped clip and dropped a magazine and then reloaded and continued firing into this vehicle with 2 women in it. You know, at Empire State Building, there was some armed guy out there. I don't know exactly what he did, but the police shot a few people in the process. And, I mean, yeah, the families may get a payout from the city, but that's not somebody being held responsible, right? Like, if I... accidentally shoot a couple of people in town and I have the ability to stroke a check of $100,000 to each of them or whatever, that doesn't mean I'm not going to end up in jail or that I shouldn't.
Yeah, the goons have absolutely no responsibility, and it's clear that they know that and they act accordingly. So they don't even worry about whether or not they're going to hurt somebody or break somebody's leg or twist their arm off behind their back. I mean, we're coming down in the violence level now. They will hurt you, break your fingers, whatever, because they don't need to worry about you ever coming back and suing them.
The government...
It's not going to happen.
...acts like they own your body. They really act like that.
Well, I mean, they think they do. You know,
I think that the argument is that in fact, the argument can be made that they do. So if you look at the lineage of what government is, not too long ago, the argument certainly would be made that the king owned you, that he was effectively the #1 slave master on the serf farm. And that, escaping, like you can leave the property or whatever. There's certainly people who got away with being bards and traveling salesmen and things like that. But by and large, you lived in the vassals' lands. You agreed to all of this. Well, what we have today, the republic that we have today, stepped directly out of, and it existed in modernity with these organizational models. So if we're electing our king for 4 years instead of them being, appointed for a lifetime by dint of their own birth, it's only marginally different. And the state does claim your body in so much as if you decide to use it to work, they will take some of the fruits of your labor. And by the way, if they can take 1 penny out of your paycheck legitimately, then they can take the whole paycheck. It's just how much they decide to leave to you. I mean, really? Seriously? 10% is moral, but 60% is immoral? I mean, come on. Where does this line get drawn? The state already claims more than God ever did in the Bible.
Which is why I say that there should not be a state, and the only way that we can ever have liberty is without a state. And this
that may be true, Gene. It may very well be true, but at this point, no one's let us try it. So what I would say is although the
king isn't going to let you try freedom,
but
because
that's
it's counter to the king's
that's where the
interests.
immorality starts, though. If I can't just own my own land and try living my own little way without getting molested on my land, then I'm not free.
I would agree.
And the reason that
You're not free. Did you think you were?
No, I don't.
I knew you didn't.
If you think you're free, you can't escape.
Well, yeah, I mean, or you can't just stay where you are and do your own little thing. They're going to come by and they're going to collect property tax from you. Oh, that land that you claim is yours is actually ours.
Yeah, you're renting it.
You're renting it.
It's not popular to say this because it defends certain people of certain races, but the Civil War did not end slavery. It merely enlarged the plantation. Now everybody's a slave.
Yeah, exactly. There's a guy named John Ainsworth, and he does this basically how Reconstruction Acts of 1867 talk, which is really good. He's all over. He's on Facebook and stuff. But essentially the 14th Amendment, allowed anyone to willingly become a slave. You can become a U.S. citizen now, and U.S. citizens are property of the federal government. And that's what everybody essentially unknowingly does. They just consent to be property of the state.
Well, Gene, thank you so much for the call. Maybe something is on your mind other than creepy men. 855-450-3733. Again, that's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live.
Have you heard of LibertyCon? LibertyCon is not only a convention with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO and co-founder John Mackey and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith, but it's also unique because you get a chance to network with more than 70 pro-liberty organizations, one-on-one for the purpose of career advancement, business, and internship opportunities. April 3rd through 5th in Washington, D.C. You can learn more by visiting libertycon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on your registration. That's libertycon.com.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite.
Dynavite for life.
Pick up 2 tubes of Doggo Suds.
Get the 3rd tube free.
Peppermint, tea tree, lavender, Doggo Sud shampoo.
Made with all-natural coconut, jojoba, aloe. Great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
But no itchy, harsh chemicals.
Lather up, rinse away.
Try Doggo Suds. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
Jay.
And Mark.
And you know, today, a lot of people are taking control of their own health. They want to avoid the pain of getting sick, the lost time at work, and costly medical bills. Well, good nutrition is key to looking and feeling great. However, eating right all the time can be a challenge. Travel and work schedules can get in the way, or you may not have the desire or time to shop and cook the right foods. So Balance of Nature has the solution. With just 3 of their fruit capsules and 3 of their veggie capsules, you get 10 servings of fruits and vegetables, and that's a lot of nutrition. Go online and become a preferred customer, which gives you the best pricing and free shipping. After your 3rd month, Balance of Nature will ship to you at no additional charge an additional set of fruits and veggies. But this is a limited time offer, so don't wait. Go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code FTL. Again, that's balanceofnature.com. Now, we've been talking about creepy men here, by and large. And, you know, Mark asked the question about whether or not someone saying a particular thing to me was creepy. And my first thought was, well, yeah, kind of, because I just sort of assumed this person was a guy. But then Jay points it out something like, well, it could be a girl or something, in which case, you know, honestly, no, that wouldn't be creepy. I would tell this person to message me, right? So it is all about willingness to engage in some sort of social or sexual interaction with a person. This seems to be the biggest factor in who is and isn't creepy.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah. And that's not good. You know, that forces me to reevaluate a lot of the people that I've described as creepy in the past. You know, they weren't actually creepy. I just wasn't attracted to them. And they were doing, as Jay pointed out much earlier, and for some reason it just didn't click with me. Yeah. But yeah, it's totally about attractiveness.
Like I had asked before if you had ever tried to creep anybody out. And so several years ago, as I told you guys in the break, I made it a point to creep someone out. And there was this boy who was, you know, later teens in high school, and he grabs this young, early teens girl, like pretty aggressively, grabs her butt, and she turns around, and she was really creeped out. She was freaked out. She
see the shock on her face.
She was shocked. So I walked up to this kid, and I grabbed him so hard, had to leave a bruise on his backside. And he looks around at me. I'm like, hey, little buddy. And and the girl was on her way to go get a cop. Her and her friend.
Right. You saved this dude.
And so essentially, I saved this dude, and he actually turned out all right. I ran into him, weeks later, and put him to work. This was a truck pulling event that this happened in Northampton, Massachusetts, and so.
And what I like about that is a story of sin and redemption here. So I mean, this guy isn't written off as evil and bad in this story. Just because he did one thing that it's definitely not socially acceptable, but it seems like in today's outrage culture, once you do it, whatever it is, that's it. You're a bad person for the rest of your life.
So, anyways, the young girl who was, I don't know, she was at probably 13 or 14, but I don't really know. But she had said to me something like, I thought it was one of my friends, like her and her girlfriends would grab each other in the butt.
Right. Fooling around, which is fine.
That's kind of what she thought it was. And she turns around and sees this guy she didn't know.
Right.
Who's like a foot taller than her.
So she was shocked.
Scared the hell out of her because that guy could hurt her, even though it was like in a crowd of people.
Right.
And
he may very well, it's quite possible, that he saw her and her friends fooling around or whatever and thought, I'll play on that game. Nope. You're not invited.
It's possible, but very unlikely he thought that. But let's get into the phones. We've got David calling from New Mexico. David, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, Aria. What you wearing?
I'm on a camera. You can go watch it at dlive.freetalklive.com.
Is that a cardigan?
Oh.
It is.
Okay.
Cardigan.
Yeah.
And
do you have a thing for trans people, David? I get the feeling you have a thing for trans people.
Yeah. I figured you would think that. Mark is so handsome too.
What about
Mark,
me? Aren't I good looking? I trimmed my beard the other day. But there's no camera directly on me.
Would you grab Jay's butt, David?
I would grab Jay's butt, but Jay is the opposite of Mark and Aria in my description. There's a paradox. Go figure all that all out.
I don't care to. Why don't you explain it? That sounds like it would be a lot more fun.
No. And Mark, what were you saying earlier about when you were describing Aria? I'm surprised you got away with it. You said not so bright, red hair. What was that?
I don't think I said not so bright. Aria's brilliant.
Thank you.
6'2". By the way, we did some measurements. I was rubbing booties with Aria here. We were standing back to back, and Aria's probably only like 1.5 inches taller than me, so maybe 6.5, 6 feet 1.5 inches, or something like that. Whatever it is, Aria is no short stuff, and bright red hair, svelte. And wears a skirt, but
Do you ever wear high heels?
Yes.
Okay.
I was making fun of your word choice. What you had actually said was describing Aria, not so bright red hair. But if you put a comma in there, not so bright red hair.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I don't know what that means.
Hey, you went. I had your gym description about the dude asking the chick for the phone number thing. But first of all, you went and did it again. You got two people and out of the same movie. You talked about invading personal space, and Jackie Chan once invaded my personal space. Damn it. And then in the
what
same
do you do when
movie,
Jackie Chan though invades your personal space?
Hug him back, man.
It's like Mike Tyson just coming up to you. You're just kind of you run.
Also invaded my personal space.
I believe
I don't look at Mike Tyson and Jackie Chan in the same way at all.
Now you got three. Now you got three memories.
I have a lot of
all in the
respect for
same
Tyson. He's made
episode.
some bad mistakes, but overall, he's redeemed himself and become a really good person.
Okay.
He's actually a pretty nice guy. He's just got the impulse control issues when he was younger.
Did he have impulse controls with you when he invaded your personal space, David?
No.
Did he grab your
chill.
butt?
He was
Did
chill.
Mike Tyson grab your butt?
No,
Is
he
that why you
grabbed the
hate gay
butts
people?
of he grabbed the butts of the ladies in the topless establishment, and
that's going to go poorly. But then again, who's going to bounce Mike Tyson?
Right.
Yeah.
They probably don't mind if you pay them well enough.
Mike, would you please leave? No? Okay, never mind.
David, thank you so much for the call. I would love to believe what David believes, right? I don't believe he's ever met Jackie Chan or Mike Tyson.
Oh, I think David's led a rich and interesting life. He just has retired to the deserts of New Mexico.
Well, the desert, I think, is rotting his brain. 855-450-3733. Again, that's 855-450-3733.
Balance of Nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
I started taking them about 7.5 years ago. It was right after I lost my husband. My husband passed away. I was grieving so bad I wasn't eating at all. I mean, I just didn't care. And so I heard the advertisements on the radio, and I thought, well, my family's upset about me. I got to get myself straight, and I started taking them. So I always say they kind of saved my life, you know. They gave me back my life. I would say that.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Call or go online now and become a preferred customer, which gives you our best pricing and free shipping. And we will take an additional 35% off of your first order. This will be a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code FTL.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
My name is Jacob Hornberger. I'm president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at fff@fff.org, and we'll send you a free 3-month subscription to our monthly journal of libertarian essays and our booklet, Economic Liberty in the Constitution, which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's fff@fff.org.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. Call in and talk about whatever is on your mind, even if it's just talking about that time Mike Tyson felt you up. That number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
Jay.
And Mark.
And you can join liberty-minded voluntarists, anarchists, and libertarians from June the 29th until July the 5th for Fork Fest 2020 at Rogers Campground in the beautiful White Mountains of New Hampshire. Fork Fest happens the week after the Porcupine Freedom Festival, and Fork Fest is decentralized, which means no one is in charge, and which means there's no ticket cost. Just reserve your camping, RV site, or motel room with Rogers Campground for June the 29th until July the 5th. And where better to celebrate Independence Day than around other freedom-loving activists in the Shire? You can simply relax and go camping with other liberty lovers, or you can create whatever experience or event you would like others to have. If you're planning an event, be sure to let others know in advance. You can connect with other Fork Festers via the unofficial Telegram chat or the Fork Fest forum. Links to those are on the unofficial website, forkfest.party. Again, forkfest.party. So we've been talking about creepy people here, and what I find interesting about this article, as we're going to continue digging into it, is that they seem, despite outlaying all of these facts about creepiness and how people really just sort of mean attractiveness, it then goes on to arrive at the exact opposite conclusion about that. So it asks, the implicit answer to what we should do with creepy people is embedded in the question. We should react to them with suspicion and social hostility. Now, I arrived at the opposite conclusion. Once it really sank in that creepiness really just meant unattractive to me, why would I react to someone who I was not attracted to with suspicion and social hostility?
Well,
right?
That's what some people do. I've watched it before just because,
I know, and that's what I've done upon
looks ugly.
Retrospect. But that doesn't make it right. That doesn't mean it's the should answer. That's what I did, yes. But what should I have done? Should have just politely declined and gone about my life instead of deciding in my head that they were creepy, and as you pointed out, hitting them with that label that can be so damaging.
Yeah, I don't have this particular problem. I mean, I have listeners that listen to the show and have figured out how to contact me and probably don't understand boundaries, but that's not creepy as much as, if somebody's sexually attracted to me and I send them the message that I'm not interested, it's usually over right there. That's about it.
How about if somebody's sexually attracted to you, they're 350 pounds, solid muscle, and they're waiting for you outside.
Right.
That's the way a lot of girls feel.
I would imagine that's true. How they, that's how they see it, and that's what I'm saying is I don't have that particular problem. It just doesn't occur.
Well, the article alleges that when we fail to react with suspicion and hostility, and so a stereotypically creepy person behaves violently, we then look back on the failure to create adequate distance with a told-you-so attitude.
Right, sure.
So this was the legal position taken recently in a case for the wrongful death against a grocery store in Maine. The civil lawsuit was brought by the husband of a woman who was murdered in the store by another regular customer and reportedly creepy customer.
Right, so a weirdo comes into a grocery store.
Although the offender in question had an angry face, bulging eyes, and clenched jaw, exhibited taciturn behavior, was seen shaking a couple of times, and sometimes appeared to be on something, quote, the judge said that the grocery store had not failed in its duty to safeguard shoppers from reasonably foreseeable third-party violence. However, the judge left open the question whether, in order to avoid risk, shop owners have a duty to exclude customers who appear creepy but who don't have a known history of violence.
The solution is I think you need to carry a gun to work at the grocery store.
Well, the government...
Well, wait a second. Hold on. What they've just said here is the judge is like, oh, yeah, you can exclude people with felony convictions from your grocery store.
Did he?
Well, he said that haven't exhibited violent behavior, right?
Yes.
So that presumes that you
can... Well, he
left
open the question of whether or not the shop owners want to exclude customers who appear creepy, but who don't. Yes, it does strongly imply that he said if they have a history of known violence, you can exclude them from your store.
Right. So I'm just wondering, is the next step in this whole weird United States crime and punishment play now that convicted felons no longer welcome in the store?
So Walmart has facial recognition. I have a crackhead uncle who is
I know that's a true statement.
Right. He's been He's been busted shoplifting at Walmart upstate New York several times. He goes into a Walmart in Florida and is immediately escorted out by their security. Walmart he'd never been into before. And this other Walmart's up in New York. And so outside, he's talking to the security guy because, like, he was literally going in there to get, Depends for his mother, who, needs to wear diapers. And he'd probably walk in there, put some stuff in his pocket, and walk out too. I don't doubt that. But they had no other suspicion than that he was flagged. They were told to remove him from the store because they actually have he's banned. But in New York, they do these. Walmart will do no trespass orders on you if you steal from them.
Sure.
And if you even a Walmart here in Manchester, New Hampshire, it's got cameras everywhere like a casino. I mean, there's just cameras everywhere at Walmart.
Right.
You're right. It sounds like we're there. I mean, at this point, if they can ban you for having stolen in the past, and I don't have a problem with them choosing to do that. I would hope that there's some kind of appeals process, but whatever. Then is the next step? Just saying anybody who's ever been convicted of whatever, and going from there.
All they got to do is overlay the convict database that I'm sure you can buy from the federal government.
Right. And I'm also betting that now inmates are having their pictures taken in a variety of poses, or at least this is coming down the pike, a variety of poses so that the facial recognition software can really get them,
You don't even have to do that. All I got to do is get a Facebook thing and just, put your picture of yourself from 10 years ago and all your other pictures and tag yourself in it and do all the work for them.
That's true. So as researchers warn, what most people consider to be creepy aligns closely with the attributes of individuals and populations already on or beyond the boundaries of social acceptance. I don't know that warning is really necessary because socially unacceptable behavior tends to be what makes a person creepy or uncreepy. It tends to be what causes someone to make the assessment about whether someone is creepy, rather. Because creepy is based on attractiveness, as we've already figured out, right?
And sense of humor. I mean, a great example could be a guy like Vermin Supreme who wears a boot on his head and seems like a total whack job, but he's hilarious. And everything he says is like pretty darn factually accurate, play on words compared to what government's doing anyways. And then you got guys like Joe Biden who are creepy, but nobody calls Vermin Supreme creepy, and the guy wears a boot on his head and walks around with a bullhorn and talks about giving people free ponies.
Yeah, context is definitely important. The mentally ill and disabled, the physically deformed, those with tics or other abnormal movements or features, the impoverished, and the homeless are all more likely to be judged as creepy. Well, again, all of that's because it ultimately comes back down to attractiveness, and the sad reality of the situation is that most people just aren't particularly attracted to the mentally ill, the disabled, the deformed, or people with unusual tics or facial features, or the impoverished and the homeless.
Yeah, with all of this, media just flooding all the young people with Vanity Fair and all kinds of, crap like that. Like there's this
Photoshop.
Everybody's got to be beautiful and all this, that, and the other thing.
So they do go on to add that, with this knowledge, we need to guard against confirmation bias when perceived creeps actually do act in harmful ways. 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
How would you like to hit the range tomorrow with a brand new gun? because the United States Concealed Carry Association wants to give you a free gun right now. That's right, completely free. The USCCA is here to give every responsibly armed American the education, training, legal, and financial protection they need. And today, they're giving you not one, but 4 free chances to win $1,000. Simply text GCN to 87222 to get entered now, and you'll get 4 free chances to win $1,000 for any gun you want. Text GCN to 87222 and get entered today. But remember, these free guns won't be around forever, and you can't win if you don't enter. So don't miss out. Just text GCN to 87222 and get your 4 free chances to win now. That's GCN to 87222.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists, get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. The LRN.FM's social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That number's 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
Jay.
And Mark.
I want to say thank you to C. Hall, who is tonight's amplifier. He's a silver amplifier, which means he donates $5 a month to the AMP program. Now, the AMP program is how we pay for advertising, marketing, and promoting the show. That's what AMP stands for. Advertise, market, and promote. It gets you a number of exclusive benefits like the AMP-only Facebook group, the AMP-only Discord channel, the AMP-only call-in line, and some other really cool features. Check it out at amp.freetalklive.com. If you like the show, maybe you sign up for the AMP program, send some money our way to help us spread the message of Free Talk Live. Again, it's amp.freetalklive.com. C. Hall, thank you very much for your contributions. So we've been talking about creepiness, right? And how it's largely based on attractiveness. And then this judge came along and said that somebody being creepy, you don't necessarily have an obligation if they have no history of violence to ban them from your store.
Right. I think that's pretty in the world where you've got to bake the cake for the gay wedding, you cannot tell businesses that they're responsible for keeping customers safe by looking at other people. It's just not fair. Now, I mean, I suppose looking at them, if they walk into the store holding a long gun at the ready, all right. But if they're just weird looking, then you're just setting yourself up for a hate crime, basically.
This sounds like a really good way for Walmarts and Targets of the world to put the mom and pop shops out of business by requiring that they have facial recognition software and that they remove people who are on the naughty list for whatever reason. Kind of like how the Purdue chicken industry, put all the small mom and pop poultry operations out of business that were, several in each town for years by using government regulations.
So the danger here is some sort of facial recognition database saved by Target and Walmart and whoever, all shared, so that if you are ever caught shoplifting or wrongfully convicted of murder or whatever, they will all ban you from all of their stores for life.
Or maybe you're not up to date on your vaccines.
Well, once they can ban you for something, I think a business should be able to ban people. That much is obvious, but it gets...
Just because they don't like their red hair or the color of their socks.
But it's when customers start saying, you should have banned him, that gets very difficult. I used to work at a health club, and there was this lady who was very, very thin. And she would come to exercise, and we would often have people, usually women, that would come up and say, my God, why aren't you doing something about this woman who clearly has anorexia nervosa, right? And now...
I mean, what do they want you to do about it?
That's kind of what I would begin asking after a little while. At first, I'm just like, but this lady claimed, I never saw it, but she claimed that her doctor had given some kind of note to the health club to allow her to be there. Now, I never saw it. I don't care as far as I was concerned and still am.
I would think exercising would be a good thing for someone who had that sort of dieting issue.
Burning calories for somebody not taking in calories is probably not a good idea.
Okay.
But
true.
Regardless, I can't. All I'm doing is letting her get on a treadmill. She could run around the parking lot and there's nothing I could do about it. So... I mean, I'm a terrible capitalist for letting somebody come in and, work on the tread. I don't even know what the complaint was exactly, except this woman's looks bother me, and I want you to do something about it, mister. And, I always felt sort of complicated, like I don't know what to do. And, I dealt with the person and, that's saying it, but I didn't know what to do. So... I just let it go, and I wasn't ever going to I didn't want to do anything about it, honestly.
I mean, that comes right back to the mentally ill, the disabled, the physically deformed, those with tics or other abnormal movements or facial features, the impoverished, and all of those are more likely to be judged as creepy, right?
Sure.
This woman pretty much fits that description. I don't think anorexia is ever considered mentally healthy, so she was certainly mentally ill to some degree, and accordingly judged as creepy or at least unwanted, right? So
yeah, there are some people who just can't tolerate ugly people around them, for example.
But then you have Joe Biden, who exhibits enormous amounts of just genuinely creepy behavior. Like, this can actually make your skin crawl kind of creepy behavior.
Right.
He's a crooked politician who's worth millions. I mean, he's got a lot of leeway. He even just brags about, hijacking the Ukrainian government with money. I mean, to get his son out of trouble.
So what should we think about creepiness when it comes to a coworker, a politician, or a celebrity Well, to date, very little has been written about the social and psychological mechanisms that make #MeToo allegations compelling, but it has become common and acceptable to publicly elevate and judge sexual conduct and experiences according to the effective language of disgust. Today, sex that leaves a woman feeling gross or sexually non-normative behavior that reads as creepy can be enough to cast a man out of polite society.
Yeah, there was a radio host in Canada that was basically kicked out, over accusations. Nothing proved in court, mind you, just accusations. I don't know what happened. I wouldn't claim to know what happened, but it's a complicated situation.
Sounds like it. Well, let's go to the phones. We got Ralph calling from Maine. Ralph, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, I was just wondering, what do you think Jael Kushner is doing for New Year's?
Who?
Jael Kushner. You don't know who Jael is?
I do not.
I don't either.
Oh, she was formerly Ivanka Trump.
Okay.
She changed her name, changed her religion, denounced Christianity, and took the name Jael Kushner.
No, I didn't. I thought Ivanka Trump just kept her name. She seems to be using it, at least at this point.
Oh, well, I think people would wake up if she started using her cult name.
Are Jews cults? Are Jews a cult? I mean, isn't Christianity come out of Judaism?
I guess so, but I'm not talking about Judaism. I'm talking about an actual cult.
What is the name of their cult?
The cult is called Chabad Lubavitch, and
Any chance you could
a lot
spell
of
that? Don't spell that. Shoot it to us on Facebook.
Okay, Shabbat. But anyway, the name that she took, Jael Kushner, when she married Jared and became, she would. I don't call it Jewish, and a lot of the Orthodox rabbis say that Shabbat is basically a criminal organization and a religious cult that engages in money laundering and financial fraud.
That sounds like a verbatim description of government to me.
They don't follow the Torah like normal Jewish people do. They follow the Zohar and the Kabbalah.
So why do you think that she and her husband are members of this cult?
Why do I think? That's well known that they're members of Shabbat.
They've said it?
But
yeah, I just don't pay attention to this stuff. I honestly don't care what people's religion is when they're in the...
Well, if they're a cult that wants to take over the world and they go about it through criminal means, I think you should care, especially since
that's
Jared
the government
Kushner
in
is
general.
basically...
well, it's not here on their website. They didn't say anything about taking over the world on their website.
Well, Ralph, thank you so much for the call. Again, to reiterate, wanting to take over the world through aggression and immoral means is like a verbatim description of government in general.
I mean, it's what the United States has been doing literally my entire life.
Yeah, never content with a specific geographic area. States always want more. They want more sheep that they can shear.
What the United States military has bases in 170 nations of the world, I think, is the number out of like 200.
It's definitely a lot. Ralph, again, thank you for the call. This has been Free Talk Live. You can head on over to freetalklive.com and check out the show archive going back more than 10 years since before
for free.
For free. Since before podcasting even started, that's 10 years of Free Talk Live. And, of course, tonight's episode will be up there shortly. We'll be back same time tomorrow night. Again, that's freetalklive.com. Or tune in tomorrow for the video feed at dlive.freetalklive.com.
Taxation is theft.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first